I remember this right, the way you composed this program, is that you know, as everybody knows, that I've been a big lover of Chopin. I reserved the second part for more like the folksy music. That's where I think the Mazurka belong. The Nocturne, I think, belongs to the first part. And I did this because it's a bit easier than what I'm playing afterwards, which is Beethoven. I really admire Chopin. I should like this for his very sensitive way of playing. It needs to be played very sensitive. I'm always appalled as how some people can kill that, but I try not to do that. So bear with me with this piece, and we'll go give it the best. So this is Nocturne number 15. Okay. Now it's time for Mr. Beethoven. I took this piece because I thought he's tiring, and after that I at least need an intermission. Beethoven has one time said that, and I like to use that quote, that playing mistakes is insignificant, but playing without passion is inexcusable. So we'll go for that. It's one of his sonatas. For me, it's always remarkable that somebody who has such loss of hearing could make such beautiful music in the last part of his life. So that's to me, like I went to the House of Music in Vienna, and they let you hear what Beethoven actually could still hear, what kind of sounds, and it was hardly anything. So it was all in his head, obviously, except when he had to conduct an orchestra, and he couldn't do it anymore. But yeah, it's one of those later pieces, Sonate Number 27. It's very mature, and the title actually of that one is, let me see here, is out of the 27th Sonate. Let me see, I find this 26. Just hold on. Here we go. It's in German says Nicht geschwind und sehr, singbar vorgetragen. So basically means not too fast, but do it in a very singbar, like singable. Yeah. It needs to sing. I've seen. I want to dedicate this piece particularly to Radu Lupu. Is a pianist that I greatly admire from Romania. He died at the age of 75 only a few weeks ago. I've heard him in concert, and I've never seen a pianist playing this piece with his eyes almost closed. And it was a theme that you'll hear, it will come back. It's a very singing piece that comes back all the time. And Radu Lupu was used to not using a piano bench, but using a chair. I tried it this afternoon, but I think I don't want to change things right now. So I try to play it in a normal way. And but he wrote some very one of his most important pieces that I very like had is Mazurkas. These are Polish folk dances, and he didn't live in Poland really for a long time because he spent most of his time in Paris when we moved there. And his Mazurkas are something that he brought back from his homeland. And in the 19th century, you leave your homeland, he never went back, as far as I know. And these are distances that were just insurmountable in those days. And I think it was his nostalgia that you would hear in his music. The first mazurkas are really Polish and very dancey. I think in the second part in Paris, maybe it was trying to appease and sell his music, so he can't play pure folk music and sell it in Paris. So I think he adapted it a little bit. And the first one you hear is actually a little more subdued piece. It's still a mazurka. The second one I play is actually a more vivid one. So you hear that difference and that contrast. So I want you to hear that. Okay. This is the piece I saw, and that's why I took it, is that I saw Martha Argerich is actually one of the best Chopin interpreters, pianist. She's still alive. I don't know else I do. But so Martha Argerich played Chopin's piano concerto, and after she was done, she gave a little encore. And it's really amazing that she took this particular mazurka because she plays lots of Chopin, and why she took this one, I think it's closest to her heart. Yeah. I hope you guys can hear that upstairs. Yeah, okay. All good? Okay, I'm changing to Schubert. I like, once we are on the Mazurka, we are now into the German dances, and Schubert wrote quite a bit of that. The first German dance, that is an excerpt of that, is actually I heard my mother play when I was young. And she absolutely loved that piece, so since it's recorded, I hope that she will hear it. And then she got to see this anyway. It's taken out the fourth German dance. First a very lively piece, that's the one I mean, then a more subdued piece. And then I played out of the, this is from the Valses sentimentale, so the sentimental waltz. He played the piece that Horowitz played when he absolutely got Moscow on his feet. He came back after being in exile. He played in Moscow, and it was an unbelievable concert. And I felt when I heard and I saw it, that is really what he played. I mean, this guy is born in the 19th century. He is exposed to one of those, I mean, some of the composers and of course the pianists of those days. And I think his interpretation of this particular piece was the way, as close as it should be. So I like to play with passion. I like to interpret that. I might make mistakes, but it's the idea is what I try to bring over. Okay. So first the piece is from the fourth German dance. my next piece is from Mendelssohn. And I always call Mendelssohn the guy who got away, who was rich. He came from a rich family, and all the other composers were dirt poor. I mean, Schubert couldn't even pay his doctor's bill, and that's why he died from pneumonia. And Mendelssohn was from a well-to-do family, and he got to travel, and it was very common in those days to travel to Italy and to get inspiration. And so he, in Italy, he heard the guys on the gondola in Venice, where they always sing songs, and he put that into his head, and he made these really beautiful pieces. This is a Venetian Gondellied from the Songs Without Words from Mendelssohn. He wrote a whole album, but this is a very folksy one. I took this one because I heard it a lot and I really liked it. So hope you like it too. Okay, I'm returning to a composer who's still alive. So the ghosts are in the cupboard now. So this is a Dutch composer who was actually quite popular in the 1980s. A popular composer, he always also played with the Queen, at that time Beatrix. I saw one of his concerts. And so these are very kind of romantic piano solos. I took the one that us initially were going to do the reveries, and also hard, don't do that. And then I started to look around and said, hey, this is that piece, this is from France, right? The Provence. And I thought this actually has a really landscape spirit in it, and I hope I'm bringing that across in this piece. Thank you so much, and thanks for listening. And
thank you.
this is the end of it.
It's so short. No, we need
I did play this at one of my concerts, but I haven't really practiced this lately, but I will try. It's a Nocturne from Chopin, which is one of his posthum works. I mean, after he died, and actually it's one of his most sensitive pieces. It's one that I really actually have heard it in encores before, and I think any Chopin lover would like this. Just to be Chopin, that's the way it is. That's what I know the best. So we'll go for that. Okay, Audrey, here we go. It's the Nocturne 20A, and it says Lento con gran espressione, so slow with great expression.